I said to him, one day, not far from here, I'll be on that place too.
All of the greats, they retire in 2024, but the best of them all, he took the longest.
Actually the main favorite for this season again.
Ball across the Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Ooh, into the net.
She does it again.
Yes, Van Bengt are the champions of Europe. To come up with something here. She has a game. The keeper. What a comeback!
And then finally it is time to talk handball again, everybody. Yet another week, yet another episode. And let's start it off here with the conqueror of the beach of Porto Santo. Finally sunburned again after 4 intense days of fighting for the throne and coming home with silverware around his neck once again. Martin Vilstrup, how's it going?
Yeah, well, actually a little bit tired, and especially tired of losing finals. And this year it's been a World Cup final and a Champions Cup final. So besides losing all the finals, then I'm pretty good.
Yeah, we will come back to you losing finals in a bit, but at first we need to come over to our clapping man on the other hand side. It is the man who knows beaches as well, but basically just from his backyard. But even on cloudy days, he brings the sun into this podcast because he's always shining. Mr. Víctor Tomàs, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really good, especially after this introduction. Thanks for waiting for me, guys. You know, the punctuality is not the best.
It's not the most
for the
Spanish thing
people,
to do.
You know? But actually, I was confused about the timing we decided to meet for recording. So sorry for that, guys.
Yeah, I mean, originally we were planning on recording yesterday, but there was a power outage at your house, so good actually to see you back. And yeah, that's what it's all about. But yeah, let's at first talk about a silver medal that is actually not around your neck, Martin. You just came back from Porto Santo, you've been playing the EHF Champions Cup. So maybe for the non-beach related listeners out there, what kind of competition was that?
In general, Champions Cup is a competition where you qualify if you win the national championship. So whoever team wins in their own country, they qualify, and then that's the reason why it's called Champions Cup. And then all the champions from each country play against each other, and therefore the name. And I mean, it's also being held in Portugal, I think, because of the weather. Being played in October, Denmark would not be a possibility to arrange a beach handball tournament. So that's basically it. And I didn't bring with me my silver medal because that's not. Well, I think sometimes silver medals are the first losers. So that's why I didn't bring it with me.
But I mean, still the second best on the planet here, so nothing to be humble over. So
he doesn't feel like bragging today. He doesn't feel like bragging today, you know.
I mean, we won it last year. We also spoke together, and we had the chance to go back to back. And when you lose a final, then obviously you're disappointed. And the women's side also had a back to back. We will speak about that later, probably. But that was also a Danish team, so we had a big opportunity to make it back to back on both genders, and sadly it was the male team who didn't succeed.
But I mean, that is time to bring in our guest for today, since we just finished off one of the biggest beach handball tournaments in the calendar year. We want to have a talk with the one who actually shaped this tournament. He is back-to-back best goalkeeper, and we have a little surprise for him waiting. His name is Ricardo Castro. And wow, I am just surrounded by super handsome guys right here. Not just Martin on my right-hand side, but in the background, I see him right in front of me in the call. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Castro, nice to have you here, Mr. Best Goalie.
Thank you so much.
How's it going? How are you?
Well, right now, a little bit tired. You know, the Champions Cup was a hard competition. You know, So right now, taking a rest after the competition and begin to organize everything for the next season.
Yeah, fair enough. But before we are opening the next season, we've got some news to break. Martin, go ahead.
Oh, we're already gonna do it now, man. But I'm a little bit jealous of it. But if there's actually many people in the beach and world that train and make a huge effort to get there. And I mean, Castro, you're actually one of them. And last year, another guy from Portugal got the award. But I'm happy to also announce you that this year you will be awarded Beach Handball Player of the Year at the Excellence Awards. So huge congratulations.
Oh, thank you. It's okay. Give me a minute, so I process everything, you know. Okay.
We wanted to surprise you also here, obviously, and we kind of did. But I mean, with the season you had also with the Portugal national team and also with Leça, and just in general also the effort that you put into it. It's not always that it comes down to being the best goalkeeper, because you put a lot of training into it. So I just want to say very much congratulations. It's well deserved.
Thank you so much. You know, last year was the first time. I'm gonna confess you this. Last year, when Gabriel Conceição won the Player of the Year, I said to him, one day, not far from here, I'll be on that place too, because well, it's a goal where everyone wants to be. You know, it's a stage that anyone wants to be there. So I just put my head down and okay, let's get to work. Let's do whatever needs to be done to try to reach that goal. You know, and I'm competing with a lot of great players, so it's not easy to achieve that. So that's the best words I can give you right now. You know, just processing the info.
Yeah, that is great. But you are our beach handball MVP of the year, and it is a huge honor. But it is a huge honor for us to have you here in the podcast as well. And I mean, what a wild ride it has been for you. So after being awarded as the best goalie of the Champions Cup last year, but not taking home the trophy, you went on to go back to back on that award. But this year, having the big title in your hands as well. Maybe describe us your feelings after fishing the last ball and realizing, oh wow, we've just become Champions Cup winners.
Oh, it's incredible, you know. Talking about the shootout, about that ball, the shot before that, I almost got it. So when I go to the bench and we switch for the next shootout, Vladi told me, "You want me to go on this one?" I said, "No. I'm feeling this will be mine. This will be mine. Just sit there. This will be mine." And I don't know. When you have that feeling that you cannot miss, you know. I just feel so. Maybe because it was in Portugal and all the people were cheering. Sorry for you, Martin. But this time the people were cheering for us, you know, and feeling that energy, and it's like, okay, that will be my time, my hour, and that ball is mine, and it was. It could not be. It could be unlucky on that ball, but I have so much confidence on that ball. Well. To be honest, I had confidence in two balls. The one from Simon Moss that just gave me I saw the video like 5 times. It said, okay, he's gonna shoot there. He's gonna shoot there, and then he scores where he's used to shoot. I said, damn, that should be my ball. And in the last one, okay, this will be mine, whatever it takes. And well, it's unscribable, you know. You can see at the video. I just saw my reaction after the video was released, because on that I was just saying, okay, it's an amazing feeling, but okay, we need to score by 1, you know. And in the Euro in Nazaré 1 year ago, we just stopped 1-2, and when we have the ball to go to the final against Hungary, we missed the 1-shot ball. So it was like, okay, calm down. It's not win yet, but okay, it's a big step. So it was a mix of feelings.
And I mean, how much did it mean to you that the guy that is sitting on my right-hand side wasn't able to row once more and to celebrate his furious victory?
Okay, he rolled a lot of times too. So one time for me is not that bad, you know. But well, I played with him this season too, and it was amazing. Was an amazing feeling. He's a big friend, and I hope to play with him some more times. But well, this time is for me. Maybe next time I hope to reach the final and play against with him again.
Yeah, well, it's well deserved also, I have to say, Castro, because we lost 2 games. Also, you didn't lose any games, and the 2 games that we lost was both against you in the shootout. And yeah, we all know that sometimes you need a bit of luck, but you also need a bit of skills and also, you know, believing in yourself. And you as a goalkeeper, and all the guests that we had goalkeepers, they need confidence. So, you know, by just saying to, hey, Vladi, trust in me, I got this one. But I would like to also ask, how is it with you guys as a team? Because you have you yourself, which are very good in a shootout, and you like also, as I do, you know, the atmosphere within the shootout. Then you have Juric, he can also go out. You have Peter, he can also go out. You have Vladi, he can also go out in shootout. So you have a lot of opportunities. How is the talk within the team? Is it more like a feeling from the game, or have you kind of decided before that, hey, I'm going to take this or this guy?
Well, I'm gonna reveal. I hope I will not regret this, but I have a superstition. So the first shootout is always for me. Whoever he is, the first shootout is always for me. Then I talk when the match is finished. I talked with Vlade and Peter and Juric. I said, "How do you feel? Who you want? Who you think is gonna be good for you?" And whoever they say, like, I'm confident with him. I'm confident with Martin. I'm confident with everyone. And then I'll let them choose the guys that if someone says like, I'm really confident on this one, okay, go for it, you know, because I know that some players are better with others. But if you are feeling something like it's really mine, I got this, okay. You it's a mix of feeling and strategy, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Also, throughout the game, I mean, if you know, if it ends up, sometimes it does that you saved my balls 5 times, then it's also about you maybe saying, "Hey, I need Vilstrup another time because I got him." But I also want to speak about you. What are the dreams about for you, Castro? Because the last previous years, this year just with Leça, you won the Champions Cup and also the World Championship. You got a bronze medal. So I mean the national team is also going in the right direction, you know, getting great results. You had a couple of bronze medal match semifinals where the luck was probably not on your side, but what are the personal dreams for you, you know, besides just being there and competing at the highest level?
Well, I think my main dream in this sport is to have my name associated to beach handball, you know. When you speak Ricardo Castro, you know it's from beach handball for great achievements, a great posture, great sportsmanship. That is my main goal. You know, when someone remember me when I finish play, like, okay, he was a great player, a great human being, a great competitor. This is my main goal. But it's a little bit of abstract for more objective goals. You know, it's to win everything again twice. You know, if I won once, I want to win everything again twice. You know, that is the thing that moves me. That I wake up every day and says, okay, I win. Luckily, I win many individual awards, so I want to win again everything again. So I think that's kind of my mentality, and with this mentality, I hope in the future I could be a reference in beach handball, you know.
And I mean, it was the second time now that you won the Champions Cup, right?
It's the second time, but with Leça was the first time.
Yeah. So it was the first time that you won it with Malaga, and now you won it with the Leça. You pronounce it correctly, Leça, or? Leça, yeah, right. But I mean, now that you have won it actually twice, after saying, well, I want to win everything twice, is your hunger for trophies now satisfied, or did it just start?
It will never be satisfied, you know. If I could win 2 times, I want to win 3. If I win 3, I want to win 4. I think this hunger will never be satiated, you know.
So I think it's super important always, because if I think at some point, if you feel that kind of hunger, you know, then maybe your motivations are not at the level it should be. I mean, also a teammate that you know yourself, Castro, a guy like Juric, he also been winning everything there is to win. But I mean, look at his reactions and the way that he's showing emotions. He also want to keep on winning. And I mean, this year you guys did, and it is well deserved. But what are the dreams for the Portuguese men's? Because this year, as I said, you won the bronze medal match. You also had the European Championship where you were very, very close. And for me, you know it better than me, the direction for the men's is going in the right direction. Also, with all the club teams competing, you had Nazaré, you had Leça, and also you had Tigres, who's also, all of teams are top teams and clubs within beach handball.
I think for us, we have to divide it in different goals. For Leça, we have a really good formation. We have a lot of youngsters. They won almost everything in our country. So I think the goal for Leça is to continue to produce great athletes, you know. For this championship, we have one guy from our youngsters that goes to the first team. So I think this must be the goal, to continue to contribute to the sport. We have like 115 kids playing beach handball, and that is the main goal for the club, you know. You already saw it when you came to Portugal. You see the beach completely full with young players, and this has to be the main goal for Leça. Obviously, win titles. It's our main goal. With the main team, but we need to think about the future. We need to continue to build the future, you know, because Martin, we are getting old, you know. Sometimes we'll need to leave the sport, you know. Maybe when we are 50, you know, but the youth must be the future of beach handball. And in the last years, beach handball as a sport has growing like crazy, you know. So we need a solid youngsters that can take our place in the future. And for our team, for Leça, this is the main goal, you know. Continue to grow as a team, continue to grow the sport, and for the national team. Okay, we have some good young players. Rodrigo, for example, he's a player that will integrate the national team very soon. I'm sure about it. And of course, we got the bronze medal. We are growing. We are having more quality playing. We are having respect from other teams. Other teams begins to look at Portugal as a reference, and that's our goal. And well, the main goal is to in the near future win a gold, maybe in a Hero, maybe in a World Cup. But that has to be the goal, you know. It's not easy because you have amazing national teams: Denmark, Croatia, Spain, Hungary. That will be very, very, very hard to win a major competition. But that has to be our dream and our goal.
And I mean, in the international comparison, where do you see Portugal as of now? So talking about all these big nations that you just named, and then comparing Portugal, how far away is Portugal from these teams?
Well, I think we are reaching the big group, for as we said, but we are missing a little bit of experience in the big finals, in big matches. You know, sometimes when the pressure is really high, we are missing some shots, we are missing some plays. So I think we are missing some experience. We have quality, we have good players that can play one-on-one with the big ones, but I think as a team we are a little bit inexperienced, and I think that is the small detail that in that kind of match are big details. But I think it's just the detail that with time, with good work, I think we can reach and we can confront one-on-one any team.
I mean, for me, it's also about consistency. And I mean, you showed at the European Championship, you were in the semifinal. Now at the World Cup, you were in the semifinal. And then before that, you also, showing up at quarterfinals and being there. Also, the European Olympic Games, you were also there in the big games. So, gaining the experience and coming. But I want to, because there's something Danish beach handball doesn't have. It's the youth. We don't have any youth national teams, and for myself, we don't have any youth team from the club that I play in. So I'm first of all, I'm super amazed about seeing when we played the global tour also in Spain to see the youth competition there. And I know for Leça also, you just had a gala show and everyone's showing up, and I'm like, how is it possible? How did it start? Well, for you guys, do the seniors come and train the younger players as well? But how does it work, in general? Because I wish we had something like that, because as you said, we're not getting younger, and we need some of the younger players to also develop so they can take over for us when we're done.
Yeah, well, we in Leça during the summer we have like summer camp vacations that we put players playing beach handball, enjoying beach handball, not like the all that concentration camp, working and training. No, just having fun, enjoying the sports, knowing the sports, and we have coach for them. Okay, we have some coaches that work, and the main team, whenever we can, because we have our works and other stuff to do. Whenever we can, we train with our youngsters and we motivate them to play beach handball, and we try to spread beach handball across all the indoor teams. That has to be a work together. You need to work together with the indoor teams, and just trying to explain them that during the off season they can be doing sports like in the beach. Okay, so it doesn't have to be a competition between indoor or beach, but we can coexist and do the better for the kids. And I think that is working very well for us.
Especially now that you're opening that topic, coexist with the indoors. For you personally, the road started, like for many beach handball players, on the indoors, but for you, it absolutely wasn't unsuccessful. So you went through the youth of Porto, ended up in the Liga Sobal squad. You were even in the EHF Cup and Champions League squad there. But still, you turned the back to the indoor and decided for the beach. Why was that?
Well, it was one time that I was in Aranda in Azabal, and I was not feeling that motivation, that wake up every morning and go to the indoor, go training and giving my best. So I reached a point where maybe call it a little bit saturated, I don't know, but feeling that I need a little bit of change, And I was already playing beach handball, and when I was in the court, in the sand, I was really happy. I was feeling myself, and I think it's reached the point that it was the natural choice that, okay, now I want to do really nice things on beach handball, and I want to grow on this sport because this sport makes me happy, and well, that was the motivation. Is like feeling that I can give 100% on one sport, and not feeling divided or not feeling forced to do anything. And well, I train a lot for beach handball, and I never need a coach to say to me like, you need to go training, you need to go do that or that. I do that on my own will, and because I really want, and I have that hunger to train and to evolve. So I think sports must be this way. When you have hunger to grow and to, well, I'm 38, and every day I wake up and with a motivation and a hunger of being better every day. So I think that says all.
Did you ever regret that choice?
never, even not even for a second.
I like it. It's the beach handball community also. That's a special one, not only on the club level, but I also think on international level, we compete against each other and we want to, win against each other for no matter what price it takes. But for me, beach handball is also something special. And I know it is for you as well. Also, so for you, Castro. So yeah, I'm happy for the path that you're going in, and I actually also agree with the national team from Portugal that the path that you're going in there, that you beat Brazil, who's the historical team in beach handball of the World Cups.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah.
No one believed that we could beat Brazil. And I think sorry to interrupt you, Martin, but just because you pulled that topic, the time that we begin to believe that Brazil is beatable, I think it was the click that we need to say, okay, we watched the video, said, okay, we have quality. And at first, before we analyze the match, we say, okay, damn it was Brazil.
Yeah.
Now we're going to be out. And I think all the team, the coach, the players say, okay, Brazil are not gods. So we came here. They have 10 players, 2 legs, 2 arms. So they are beatable. And when we begin to believe that, and we enter the court and we won the first set, I said, okay, they are not better than us. Okay, let's do this, And when you start believing that, it's much easier.
What was the key in that game? Was it that you could finally trash talk in Portuguese, or?
Well, I would not confirm or deny it,
Nah, just kidding. But maybe looking at you personally for a little more. Working in a neuro rehabilitation clinic and playing beach handball, how well does that work together?
Well, I don't have much free time,
Yeah.
It's a very restricted schedule, but I won't trade it for anything, I woke up, and Martin, I already talked to Martin about my routines and my schedule. So to summarize everything, it's very easy. I woke up every day 7 a.m. in the morning. I go to work out until 10 a.m. more or less. I go to my clinic and organize everything, work until like 6 p.m. in the afternoon, and then get again to work out for until 8 p.m. 8:30. Then go home, eat, sleep, and do that everything again in the next day. So basically that is my routine, and I won't trade it for anything,
But do you see that dedication that you bring onto the beach handball court in many other players? Because if we're talking beach handball and that it is growing, maybe is it this kind of dedication that is needed to grow the sport from each and every athlete? Or do you think that it's not even possible to bring that?
That is a good question. And I think when I start with this routine, I think 99% of the people call me crazy, Well, no, you are crazy, like training 5 hours a day. Are you nuts? And then they begin to see the results and say, okay, maybe that is not so crazy at all. And people begin to work out a little more, to give more time to beach handball. And I think if we want to grow and to change beach handball to a professional sport or to more professional sport, I think we need those crazy pioneers doing crazy stuff, because at the beginning you are crazy, and if it works out, in the end you are a genius, something like this, And I think we need some of us, the older ones, to do that kind of commitment to the sport, because if you look beach handball like 10 years ago, it was a summer. Fun, that is not even a sport. Here in Portugal, it was like an excuse to be all together and drink some beers and have a good time. Right now, we prepare video, we prepare the match, we have high performance athletes, we spend time studying beach handball. So if none of us begin with that commitment to beach handball, I think that will never change. And right now we are in the path to people begin to change their behavior, to see beach handball as a real hard sport, a high performance sport, and whoever wants to be in the Champions Cup final needs to prepare. You cannot be just hanging around, go there and win everything. You need to be prepared because it's really hard competition. You will get tired. You will need to do workouts. You need to prepare for that. So I think that's the way we need to. That's the path we need to go.
Maybe talking about beach handball and the community that is growing there as well. I personally only experienced it locally in Germany whenever I'm hosting the German championships together with Martin Vilstrup, who's basically always there. That is always great. But you can really feel like there is something like that beach handball family. So that is not just a saying, but that is really true. But is there an international beach handball family as well, Ricardo?
I think there is. Well, there is a group of players, a group of teams that play many competitions, ones against each other, and I think during the match we are playing against each other, we are competing against each other. After the match, immediately, if we need to laugh together, to tell some jokes, to some trash talk, the winners against the losers, but it's like, if I need something, I know even if this time I win against Martin, if I need something, I can call Martin and he will be there for me. The other times that Martin beat me, he can ask me everything he wants, and I'll be there for him. So I think in the end, we are not enemies, we are the adversaries. We play against each other. In the end, we are all friends. And I think in beach handball, well, I don't remember any fights after any match. Maybe during the match some trash talk, because of the emotion. But after that, I really don't remember in all my years some players are fighting or discussing or anything. After that, we are all friends. We are all enjoying in the end beach handball and competing against each other.
Yeah, and sitting at the most beautiful beaches of the world, that is for sure. On the other hand, Martin told me before the podcast that you guys did have a tournament that you played together this year?
Yeah, in the Jarun Cup.
The Jarun Cup. How did that go, and how is it playing together with Martin Vilstrup?
Well, I prefer to play with him than against him, That's for sure. That's for sure, okay? And that was a great tournament. We faced Croatian national team. We faced Daytona Zagreb that with full strength. So I think it was an amazing tournament. We didn't lost any match. We played a very high level beach handball. Even in the final, I think it was maybe one of the best well played beach handball match. It was very competitive. It was incredible, and well. Like I say, I prefer to play with Martin than against him,
Totally fair. All right, then
you,
I would
Ricardo.
say Mr. MVP of Beach Handball 2024, let's say thank you. Thanks a lot for your time, unless Martin has some last big topic.
I'm just going to say don't forget to thank me because I missed all the shots on you. So you also look very amazing. And then just once again, Castro, a big congratulations. It's well deserved, and keep up the good work. We will see each other very soon. So thank you for joining and congrats, man. It's enjoy it.
No, thank you so much for the surprise. That I will be laughing the whole day right now. We'll be in a very good mood. So thank you very much for the surprise.
That is great. You deserved it. You truly did. So congratulations on that individual award, on the other individual award that you got awarded with last weekend, and on the big trophy on taking home the Champions Cup.
Thank you so much.
Ricardo, thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. Yeah, what a time to talk to a winner of a gold medal here. Martin, what is your feelings? What are your feelings when you're talking to Ricardo here, since he saved the last penalty?
If I was disappointed before we spoke with Ricardo, then I'm not less disappointed now hearing his thoughts, and also because I know Ricardo and we played with him, against him a lot of times, and I won a couple of times, but this time he succeeded. But obviously, I'm happy for him, and as I said to Portuguese television when I got interviewed in Portugal, that I will come back next year and I will take it back from him.
Yeah, and I mean, last year you guys actually took it home, but maybe to put it in your words here, why didn't you succeed in the final this year?
No, it comes down to the small details, the small things, because the shootout, you normally have 5 shots in the shootout, and whenever it's a draw from there, you continue to, can you say, this kind of golden goal kind of situation, or where one score and one miss, and sadly we missed and they scored. So it's the small details. We won one period, our halftime each. So yeah, it was both times we lost against them was pretty close, and it's about, keeping the nerves cool, and also a little bit of luck sometimes, or having a good goalkeeper.
I want to remember you guys that we won the first EHF Media Trophy in the Final Four because our goalkeeper saved the penalty. and I remember who our goalkeeper was.
I have a slight memory about that as well, but not to hang that on the big nail. Indoor and hanging stuff on the nails brings me over to the next topic, because ever since the last episode, there was a big announcement in the handball world, and I just heard so many people shook about actually what happened there. All of the greats, they retire in 2024, but the best of them all, he took the longest. Martin Vilstrup, you retired from your indoor career. What happened there? Maybe just to take us with you on some thoughts about your retirement.
Wow. There's many thoughts about my little retirement here. Actually, if I remember correctly, I joked about being 24, not the year to retire, because all the big guys will run away with all the attention. So, I mean, it's a matter of priorities for me, and turning 36 next time. And I was capable of continuing to play at a lower level in Denmark. But it takes off a lot of time, and it's 4 to 5 times a week you have to go train. And I mean, since I'm not playing at the moment, it made pretty sense to me not to play anymore and not have 1 year where I don't play and then continue again. It basically is a matter of priorities, and me also wanting to start a new life with a real work, if you can call it like that, and obviously also at some point in the future want to establish a family and stuff like that. So it's a pretty mature decision. And but the first thought right after I kind of wrote it out on the social media was that I want to go back and train. So I don't know when the right time is. And I remember Victor also said, enjoy it while you can, and play as long as you can. Luckily for me, I made the decision myself, and it was not an injury or someone else who kind of took it for me.
Yeah, and I mean, we can still congratulate you on a great indoor career as well. I mean, it's not many people that can, name themselves international players, and you were able to step your foot on on the international floors of the European handball. So, congratulations on a great career that we hope is not done yet on the beach here as well. But talking about Danish legends hanging their shoes, that brings us over to the EHF Champions League action. And let's start it off here with the Machineseeker EHF Champions League, because there was one big thing happening in summer in Aalborg as well. Mikkel Hansen left Aalborg, and he left a little hole in the Aalborg backcourt. Victor, maybe to bring you in here back again, how is Aalborg trying to recover from that hole in the backcourt?
Well, Aalborg is struggling this beginning of the season with injuries. I think there is a lot of really important players injured in the back positions, like Arnoldsen, like Hoxer. They are missing, of course, Mikkel Hansen from last season. So a player like Mikkel, I think they are missing something more than only the player in the playing court. It's a guy that it's important in the locker room. It's important in the group, and of course, it's a big name, big figure inside the group. But I think they have a very, very tough team when they will recover also Niklas Landin in the goal. If they are already winning some points and Marinus Munk is also stepping into the picture. He is a very young player, but it's a player that has only the goal on his mind, which is really good. So I think that as every team did before, Paris with Nikola Karabatic retirement and some other teams with the retirement of big names, they will recover from that, and they will be a really tough team to beat this season in the Champions League.
And I mean, Martin, just the last episode, you actually teased us already with some reason why you were not so convinced of this year's Aalborg team. What is it that makes you so skeptical? Because Victor and me, we have them winning it.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, one of the things is always also that you have Mikkel Hansen, and whenever some of the games needs to be decided, there will be players looking at. In this particular case, it would have been Mikkel Hansen early on, and let's not forget that Mads Hoxer and Thomas Andersen are still young players. They have the future ahead, and they have a very bright future. I think they are two unbelievable players. But I think in general, after Olympic year, Aalborg has been struggling way more than maybe some of the other teams. As Victor said, Niklas Landin has been injured. They thought that maybe he will return. Now he had a surgery, and there will be a little bit longer before he returns. Henrik Mølgaard, who came back, had an injury. Thomas Andersen also played national duties. Mads Hoxer, he had an injury just before the Olympics, and now he had another one, and he's still playing. Yesterday against Szeged on restrictions, how many shots can he take per game? I know the Danish media asked him, and I said, I'm not going to say here how many shots I can take per game. And then at the moment, they also have the captain, René Antonsen, injured. And I think, I know more, maybe also some other teams are struggling with the Olympic year, but I think Aalborg in particular with Andersen, super important, Hoxer, Mølgaard, Landin, the captain, René Antonsen. And then also the last couple of matches, Bartol haven't been playing on the level he wanted to. He also said himself, and there's been rumors about him. Is he staying in Aalborg? Is he not? Is his fellow national man, Alexander Blons, is he going to Aalborg? And all these kind of rumors, I don't know. In general, I don't think that gonna boost your confidence about are you going away, is somebody else coming in. So that is one of the reasons for me to believe that of course they can recover. But on the other hand, I would also say that Mike Machula, a foreign coach coming in after Stefan Madsen, getting to know the league, getting to know the language, the culture, and the country in general can also, sometimes you don't see them succeed at the first season, but maybe the second season, whenever they know the league and how it's going to be played, and he can also kind of get his playing style into Aalborg. So that's obviously an interesting talk with Machula coming in, and also all the injuries. And I also, it's a long talk now from me, but I also think the substitution you had from Mikkel Hansen is this year not at the level. I would think in terms of quality, if you want to win the Champions League next year, Jorik Noah is coming, and I think he's a very interesting player to join the Danish league, a German top player, not joining a German team, but he's actually going to Scandinavia and Denmark. That's very interesting.
And talking about replacement and important positions, you can never replace a Niklas Landin. But Martin, last week you told us about the Sporting goalkeepers Christensen and Ali not having the level for an EHF Final Four. Victor, what do you think? Is Norsten on that level?
Yes, I think so. So I think that Norsten is a goalkeeper that can win games and can make 20 saves per game. What is still missing on his case, it's the consistency. But I think it will come with experience, and especially goalkeepers I think that goalkeepers at the age of 31, 32, they are at their best, or at least that's my opinion. So I think it will come. But it's for me, it's a very, very good goalkeeper.
And I mean, on the other hand, we had that game against Barca, where Barca, I think, won 35-27. It was just another show of how good Barca is at home. It's not a shame at all to lose there. But especially in that game, what was the key for Barca to run over Aalborg? Is it only to be broken down to individual class, especially from Emil Nielsen in that game?
Well, Emil Nielsen, it's a key player for every team that he is part of. In that particular game, he was the MVP. Also, Norsten was at very high level. I think in number of saves, they were almost the same. I think it was around 16 saves, both of them.
Yeah.
But I think that the key on that game was the Barca had a deeper roster. We've been talking about the injuries in Aalborg, and I don't think they could keep up the tempo of the game.
Yeah.
And I just have to say also, Marinus Munk, he played amazing. He's also a young guy, but to Aalborg this season, Thomas Andersen, he will be the key player number one, no matter who you take out, because he can also, the way that he's running from the defense to the offense with the counter attack and the way that he sees the field and the 1-versus-1, we also saw it with the national team in Denmark. He will be the next big thing for Denmark, and therefore he's natural that he's a key player. And also not have, I think Norsten is also a super great goalkeeper, and I think he's been performing pretty well, but it's also for him to have a guy like Niklas Landin there at the moment. He was playing himself, and they only had a youth player coming in, and now they then brought in a guy, Anders Hellberg from Kolding on loan only for 2 months, because he needed someone else to have a substitution, because when you're the only goalkeeper, then there's a lot of pressure on you, because that's a position where either you save the balls or you don't, and when you don't, then you cannot bring in a youth player that is 18 and 19 years old in a Champions League game. So obviously that's going to help them, Aalborg. But yeah, I also think that's also natural sometimes, but I also think that Martins, who's been coming in, there will only be one Mikkel Hansen, and I'm not talking about replacing for Mikkel Hansen, because Martins is also his own player. But for him, he's also a new country again, a new language and a new way of playing. And he also needs to adapt to the Danish league, because if they want to go to the Champions League, he also needs to contribute a little bit more that he's been doing so far in the beginning of season, if you ask me, because I think the quality with Huxer, Andersen and Alex Vlar, that's unbelievable. Vlar, former Champions League top scorer, and Andersen and Huxer, we've seen what they can do as well.
Yeah, a lot of Aalborg talks for now. Let's just move over to another team that had a tough start into the Machineseeker EHF Champions League season. I brought some numbers for you. 2023, the title. 2024, the semifinal. Season 24-25, only 1 victory and 3 defeats in 5 matches, and an almost shocking 6th place in Group B. Of course, we're talking about Magdeburg here. Is the Cinderella story over for Magdeburg?
I don't think so. I think they are just a team that now everybody's prepared for them. I think that 4 or 5 years ago, the first time they won the Super Globe, it was a little bit surprise after they won the EHF Europa League. So they went to Super Globe and they win against Barca in the way they did it. And all the rest that they did after that, we all know how they did it and how impressive it was. But again, the injury of Felix Klar, for me, it's a very important one in that team, because it's the player that makes the team to play a little bit different, in my opinion. Otherwise, that attack is 1-against-1 all the time, 1-against-1 all the time, and they are super players, but the teams are ready for them, and the calendar of Magdeburg has been incredibly packed. They came from winning a super game in Flensburg after a defeat at home with Kielce. win away in Flensburg and now defeat again against Nantes. The season is long, and a lot of players have been in the Olympics, and I think the Cinderella story is not over.
But standing at the 6th place, you have to look a little bit down. And right there, we have Zagreb in the 7th spot. And they were close to gaining points against Barca, actually. And as of now, Bennett Wiegert, the Magdeburg coach, he already talked about the goal of the season for now, qualifying for the playoff round. Martin, what do you think? Is that goal susceptible of getting in danger?
I don't believe that in the long end they will be, but Bernard Wiegert is also being realistic here and not putting pressure on the team because they probably haven't won the games that they wanted to. So he's going out and saying this instead of him saying, yeah, we want to be number 1 or 2. Then the pressure is automatically on the team. So as a good coach, he's going out and taking some of the pressure from the players. But as Victor said, they've been struggling with injuries also. And I mean, they play in a very, very tough league. And all eyes are on them, and I believe that they will bounce back. But let's switch it up. On the other hand, will anyone from the other group play against Magdeburg? I don't believe so. So that's also the way that Magdeburg kind of the latest years been building up a reputation. So, I mean, if you imagine finish 3rd in the other group, and then you might end up playing against Magdeburg that would also be very, very tough. But I believe they will bounce back whenever Felix Klar is ready again. They brought in Sender, and last year they also had Smarterson as a backup player, covering up, and him understanding how Gisli and Omar Ingi is also playing because they are fellow national men. But for me, it's just a matter of time, and whenever the amount of games is getting a little bit lower, then they will be back where we normally speak about them.
All right, there are some other super interesting topics in the Machineseeker EHF Champions League going on, but we will have a look at them in the next episode because the time is almost running out, and we got to and want to have a look at the Women's Champions League here as well. And let's start it off here with the champions, with the reigning champions, because Gjør is the only team left in Group B to be unbeaten. Well, I was wondering because last year we have been talking about the 11 victories at the start of the season for Gjør, and then they kind of let it slip a little bit. Is it just the regular self-understanding of Gjør that we are seeing right now yet again?
To me, it's just, I think Gjør is being Gjør. And I know that, that some will also say that probably they had a couple of newcomers and players coming in that haven't been totally outstanding. But in general, for me, the most important thing in Gjør is that they play as a team, because if you look at the quality on every player, all players are top class players, but that's not enough to play individual and being a world-class player. You need to play together as a team, and you normally often don't see Gjør players being on top and the top scorer list and stuff like that, because they split the playing time out on more than, let's say, 4, 5, 6 backcourt players. They have so many great players, they need to find, the toughest for them is to make everyone satisfied and still play at a high level all the time. So Enseminko, Bruno Di Paula, Christina Jørgensen, and all these players, they need to play, and Diona Hausner and Dole for everyone. And how do you do that and don't lower the level, because who will play against who with who? It's not just to put them together, it's also the right mix of them. But for me, Gjør is just being Gjør. I would be more disappointed if they have lost 1 or 2 games at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about the new players, such as Christina Jørgensen and Christine Breistol. They are not yet on their absolute highest level. They just start to bring down their performances. It was the game against Esbjerg where Christine Breistol, for the first time, scored 5 goals in a game. Is that a sign that Gjør is actually just getting better and better even throughout the season, Victor?
Yeah, I mean, new players as these 2 that you just named, Kelly Dulfer and Christina Jørgensen, playing in key positions. There is always a certain time of that they need to adapt to the new systems and the team, the new teammates and everything. So yes, most likely Győr is going to be better and better. Actually, it was a very surprising result in Montenegro, but I think it was just because they were not focused enough on that game. They thought maybe they could win without even going down the bus. So yeah, I think that Győr is actually the main favorite for this season again.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're looking at Group B, they just beat, so we are recording on Friday, so just prior to the next match day. You guys do know a little more than we do as of now. But yeah, if we're looking at Group B, they just beat the most consistent opponent in Brest. So it was close, but they still managed, and all the other teams already have 2 defeats in their pocket. Do you guys see any team being able to take away the top spot of Group B of Győr?
If there was a team, no. But if I have to mention a team, then I would have to look at Esbjerg, because they also been struggling with an Olympic year. Some of the key points that we spoke about with Nora Mørk, for example. Not having Nora Mørk will obviously help them, but and they brought back Line Haugstad, who's also looking very strong in the Esbjerg jersey, but. And now they have a 3-point lead over Esbjerg, if I remember correctly, and that will be tough to. Then Győr needs to do what they did last year when they already had the spot secured by losing 3 games or something like that. But at the moment they look strong, and I also think they will be better and better with the time. And as I said, it's not always the high-scoring games for Győr, but they are just very good in defense, and the goalkeepers they have is also super insane. So yeah.
Then let's have another look over to the other group, over to Group A, because over there I find it super interesting. The table has split into 2 segments. So you have the top 4, including Metz, Čežemė, FTC, and Krim, and the bottom 4. And the upcoming weeks, the top 4 are always playing against each other. So these 6 weeks that are coming, we only see Čežemė facing FTC, facing Metz, facing Krim, and vice versa. So the upcoming weeks are basically stacked out of perfectly intense matches. I want to hear 2 names. After these 6 weeks, who is going to be on top of that table? Victor, you may start. Čežemė, FTC, Metz, and Krim.
That's a tough one. I would say Metz and Čežemė.
Martin, do you agree?
Wow. I mean, Čežemė got in a new couple of players. No, then I'm not gonna agree this time. Then I'm just gonna say the way it is. I'm gonna say Metz and FTC.
Oh yeah, right. I am going with Victor with the teams, but CSM Čežemė is gonna take the lead of the table. That's what I'm feeling. Victor,
the problem they have now. The problem they have now is that they are missing line players because Karina Pintea is injured, and both line players are injured at this moment, and they are struggling a little bit on that position. But I have confidence in them. I think they can be in the top 2. I don't think they will be number 1, but it's just guessing.
The only thing that I had to say was that you, Bengt, also have them as a winner of the EHF Champions League, so it would be weird if you didn't have them in your top 2. But I think, also getting back line players, Vilde Ingstad also as a top world-class line player, and that will obviously, just make them even stronger. And our last episode, Moretti also in goal, she's a top class goalkeeper. So let's see. I mean, it's interesting, and the next weeks, as you said, Bengt, they are going to be crucial for the top 2 who's going to take it.
Absolutely. And talking about intense weeks, we gotta come over to a not so nice topic that we still have to talk about, though. Vipers are facing potential bankruptcy. As I just said, we are just recording on Friday at 3 p.m. Somewhere in that direction. And this is basically where all the meetings are taking place. So Chairman Peter Gitmark informs TV2 that the board meeting will start at 3 p.m. and will last until 4 p.m. And then there will be a meeting with players and stuff. So the club's future is just being decided in these moments. And from our side, we can only hope for the best for Vipers to get out of that situation because, well, between I think it was 2020 and 2023, they won 3 Champions League titles in a row and are for sure one of the biggest teams that this sport has ever seen. So let's send our good wishes over to Norway so that Vipers are recovering from that. Any words from you boys on that topic?
We haven't heard the news yet. We just hope for the best because, as you said, it's a club with a lot of history. But it's not only about the clubs; it's also for the players. I feel a little bit sorry for them if they don't continue with Vipers, and because they can be out of a job, in the middle of the season, and it's a tough one because they also had problems in August and in February, and so they've been struggling a lot with the economy. But no matter what the decision in the end will be, it's a club we always been looking at the previous years, and them not being there will be very, very weird.
Yeah. For me, it's very sad because I think that having them, it made also the Norwegian League grow, and we have teams like Sula or Storhamar also in a very good level. Yeah. And I think it's a shame, especially for the players, because last season the players, they made a huge effort for the club to maintain the club alive. They did everything. They even called people to ask for money. So they did absolutely everything. And for me, it's really shame that a team like that has a bad administration. The way they worked the last seasons, I don't know how this can happen. A team that wins 3 times in a row the Champions League, it's running out of money. It's a shame, especially in my opinion, number 1 for players, number 2 for handball community, and number 3 for the city of Kristiansand, because it was a city I've been there watching handball, and it was a city living for the club, for the team, so it's really, really bad news.
Yeah. Absolutely. So best wishes over to Kristiansand, over to Norway. But yeah, that brings us towards the end of this episode. The next Champions League weeks are stacked with great matches. Let's hope with the Vipers as well. And if you guys don't want to miss any of the Champions League action, just make sure to subscribe to EHF TV because you can watch all the matches there and all the matches from the Machineseeker EHF Champions League are being commentated as well. So that is a great new update for this season. So make sure to tune in when it's handball action yet again, and make sure to tune in the next time again when it's time to talk handball again.
Ball across the Dylan Nahi, double in flight. Oh, what a start!
Into the net.
She does it again.